Hey everybody, Cricket presents the warm-up, and whether you just stumbled here or you love your Texas high school football, we love bringing you the action. My name is Neil Beasley, but you are here to hear Professor Diggs, Matt Diggs. Boy, we are deep in the heart of district play as well. So first of all, before we get going on another great week, what'd you think of last week's stuff?
And I got to spend pretty much all weekend in Prosper ISD, that great hospitality over there. Unfortunately, my beloved Panthers fell out of the playoff picture. But then on Friday, I got to watch a great game with Anna and Walnut Grove. 21-point leads, Neil, just don't go as far as they used to because Walnut Grove came back. And that's kind of been the theme of this year. Unexpected upsets, comeback wins, like Coppell and Louisville. Teams you expect were down, come back. So it is a crazy parity-driven fun football season so far.
All right. Well, we bring you now the lineup, 3 games that you need to know about this week. And man, game one, you're talking about 2 better teams in the DFW area, better teams maybe in the state of Texas, and better teams maybe in the nation in an Eagle fight. This one, Allen and Prosper, both undefeated, district play and overall. What do you see in this one?
Couple of factors, I think, if you're breaking down this game. First of all, neither of these teams, since about week 2 or 3, have played a full game. Even going back into the preseason, Allen has been dominant, pretty much put the backups in at halftime. Prosper had to struggle with Austin Westlake and Rockwell Heath to get to that point. Since then, Prosper's been at that high level. So can Allen play at a high level for 48 minutes? Because you know Prosper is going to take him for 48 minutes. And to that end, because Allen hasn't really played anybody and been tested, I think this game in Prosper is going to be a bit of a factor because Allen has a great home field advantage. Take that game to Prosper, and I think it's going to make it a little bit closer for a half. When I look at this game, kind of like the Denton Ryan and Aledo game, I think it's going to come down to the defensive side of the ball. We know the big dogs on the offensive side of the ball, Jeremiah Dowd, Braden Imhoff, but when you look at the quarterbacks, but I think for defense, can Allen's defense finally play a 48-minute game where they can shut down a high-powered offense? For me, the answer is yes, but I think it's going to take into that second half because of that momentum. Some names to watch on the defensive side of the ball: LeBron Bauer, JT Shaw, Kai Wheaton. I think Allen just has too much on the defense. I think Prosper is going to get up early, ride that momentum train, but in the second half, I think Allen's going to pull away and win this game by 2 scores. Give me 35-21.
Wow, it's going to be a fun one. And speaking of fun ones, man, we got another one in Frisco. Wakeland against Lone Star, both of those undefeated. That could be a great game as well. What do you see?
Both are undefeated, and this game last year was game of the year, a crazy ending, and I know Frisco Lone Star is remembering that. You got Trey White, who is an amazing quarterback for Lone Star against Jaden Maples, who can do it all for Frisco Wakeland. I just think Lone Star, for all of the big dogs, have too much athlete for athlete. Grayson Meyer's going to have to play both ways. Who's he going to stop? Is it going to be Ryder Mix? Is it going to be Carice Hoyt? Is it going to be Davian Gross? I think he can stop one of them, but then there's more options for Lone Star. I think Lone Star, motivated by what happened last year, is not going to look it's going to take Wakeland lightly. I think they're going to come back, and I think they're going to have a dominant statement-making win over Frisco Wakeland.
All right, and then our final game in the lineup, we got maybe a sneaky good game. Colleyville Heritage, the Panthers going up against the Jags from Mansfield Summit, 3-2 against 4-1. So maybe some playoff positioning here.
It's kind of safe to pick Colleyville Heritage in the game of the week because they seem to play game of the weeks week after week. They've had 2 games that were 1-point games in the 40s this year when it comes to Mansfield Timberview and Arlington Seguin last week, winning that game in overtime. Bodie Weaver is do everything for Colleyville Heritage, but somebody's got to step up at some point and help Bodie because, I look at the leading rusher. I look at the leading quarterback. It's Bodie. I think he's the leading receiver for Colleyville Heritage. He might be playing the leading linebacker, leading DB, but Colleyville Heritage has got to help him out. But what really impressed me about Mansfield Summit, even in losing to Argyle, is how much support they had. Ian Gebhardt has come out of nowhere at quarterback, replacing Demarius Bird, and he is their leading rusher. He is their leading receiver. But you got Darian Nettles. I think he's actually their second leading rusher. Darian Nettles is their leading rusher. I think Mansfield Summit's just got too much. They got a plethora of 3-year starters on the defensive side of the ball. I think at home, Summit's going to win this game and cement their place as the second-place team in this district.
All right, well, we always like to get some insider information, and we do that now. Our Ward Fasold catches up with one of the great coaches in the DFW area in our Media Day segment.
The warm-up is presented by Cricket. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket has jaw-dropping new unlimited plans.
Whoa! Your favorite burger whenever you want it. Whataburger is open 24/7, just like you like it. Parker University. Check out our bachelor's degree in strength and human performance today.
That's right, Neil. I'm joined with Allen head coach Lee Wiginton, and we are going to talk about this Prosper game. But first, I got to give you your kudos, Coach. 200 wins. I mean, I didn't get one win as a coach, so you got getting 200, and you've been in a lot of great places. It's got to feel good. I know it's happened in the middle of the season when you got to concentrate about other games. It's probably something you can't reflect on now, but we want to say our congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. You know, it's one of those things that, yeah, in the middle of the season, it's one of those things I didn't even know occurred. You know, they said it, and I was like, oh, okay. I know I'd been doing it a while, but had no idea. It's just a blessing of, you know, being around a lot of good people and coaching a lot of great kids for a long time. Just to, you know, if anything, it just makes you think back to all the lives you've had the chance to interact with and really appreciate the years.
You know, as a show, we've been following 6-6A. And people keep asking me who are you shooting at 6-6A? Is Allen playing Prosper yet? And they're like, no. It's all right. Well, leave me alone for a little bit. Wait, Tell me when that game happens. Because and on your side of things, we did something on the workhorse running backs from last week. There's some running backs out there that got it 41 times. You're like, how do they do that? But you look at Walnut Grove. He does it because the schedule wasn't too hard, and you could maintain the carries. And I'm kind of feeling like maybe going into this Prosper game, you have a couple players that, if they're a little dinged or whatever, you can maintain their usage. And a lot of times you haven't had to go with your starters in the half. Is that going to benefit you now going on the road into Prosper? And maybe benefits you because they haven't seen a ton of tape of you guys doing what you need to do to execute in tight games. Yeah,
you know, there's a lot of similarities between the two of us. You know, both have played really well up to this point in the year and been fortunate to get up in some games both of us throughout district play. And so I think in that regard, we're probably both sitting about the same. You know, I think if there's a team, they probably, they played Westlake first game of the year, who, you know, obviously played for the state championship last year. And so they've certainly been battle tested, but then kind of we mirrored the same schedules throughout. So I think we're both kind of coming into it, you know, about the same. And it's going to be a great game Friday night. You know, everyone knows who Prosper is and what they do. They've been really, really good for a number of years. And just going to be an exciting atmosphere and great football game.
Well, on their side of the ball, their quarterback, his jersey, they haven't really had to wash it too much because they got those big, massive D1 guys that they seem to always have on the line. What's it going to take to penetrate that? Is it going to take stunts? What's it going to take to get to them?
You're just going to have to play incredibly hard. You know, they not only are they, you know, very talented up front, they do a really good job. You know, they do a good job in who they are as a team. They do a good job in certainly protecting him. It's just going to be a matter of effort. Just you know, how hard are you willing to play and how long are you willing to continue to do it? And going to be a great challenge. You know, but one of those challenges that it's why you do what you do. This is why you prepare. It's why you put in all the work. It's why you do all the stuff leading back to January up to now. It's not looking forward to resting up in the second half of a game. You know, it's for moments like this. So again, the kids are incredibly excited, as are the coaches.
And we were discussing also, and maybe this will be my final question. There's a lot of parity in high school football this year, but there has been a handful of teams that have been steady. There hasn't been a lot of dips. You know, there's the South Oak Cliffs, the Lone Stars, South Lake Carrolls, and obviously your name comes up too, the Allens. There hasn't been a dip. There hasn't been what happened that quarter? What happened that half? Has there been something surprising about your Eagles team where you're like, well, I didn't really expect this to happen or this guy to step up that you've really been kind of enlightened by?
Yeah. You know, I don't know that there's necessarily an individual. I have been very pleased with just the team as a whole. You know, we came in, had a new quarterback And actually have had two guys play quite a bit at quarterback. So anytime you have a new quarterback, you got to kind of wonder a little bit, what are you going to be like as a team? A lot of new faces on the offensive line, many games of the year, having 5 guys up there that never started a game last year for us. So just seeing the way that they've played has been, as a whole, just really exciting. Special teams, we've done some really good things this year in terms of blocks, in terms of returns. So I think it's just really that, just the total team progress that continues to take place. A long way of where we need to be, in all those phases, going back to the quarterback play or O-line play or special teams. There's certainly things that we're working to improve, and we know we have to in a hurry. But that would probably be just what stands out. We knew our defense had a lot of guys coming back, and we knew we were going to need to lean on them. Didn't know quite how good we were going to be, because we're replacing some really good players. But they've done everything that we kind of hoped and maybe expected. But been very pleased with the defensive side of the ball, and then just really that the offense and special teams are kind of nearing that level.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're excited about this one Friday night. We circled it, not in pencil. We circled that joint in red a long time ago. This will definitely be the game of the week, so we're looking forward to seeing it, Coach, and I appreciate you joining me today.
No, thank you. And, for those who love Texas high school football, it's going to be a great one Friday night.
The warm-up is presented by Cricket. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket has jaw-dropping new unlimited plans.
The #1 selling compact tractor in Texas. For details, visit gokubota.com. Kubota, because you can. Discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. Kia, movement that inspires.
Ward, Coach, thank you so much. It's time now, though, for the agenda. 3 more games we want you to know about. And we'll start off with this game. Probably is a flip from what maybe we thought it might be. The Longview Lobos and Rockwall Heath Hawks. Rockwall Heath under Rodney Webb, man, they're playing lights out. And Longview kind of has this going when they're used to playing up here. How do you see this one playing out?
I think that roller coaster schedules, because of who they've been playing. Longview has really challenged themselves with a tough schedule, and this year with 10-6A, it has been a tough schedule. It feels so disingenuous, Neil, for me to think that Longview at home is an underdog, but the way Rockwall Heath has been playing, that's what I feel like. Prosper Neal has been fantastic for Rockwall Heath at quarterback. Carter Zom, just an amazing dual threat as a receiver and at running back. And then if you got to go deep, Sean Gary is a deep threat. Longview has not played these shootout games very well. And I don't see Longview's defense being good enough to slow down Rockwall Heath to not make it a shootout. Even at Lobo Stadium, I think Rockwall Heath is going to win a 49-35 kind of a game.
Boy, Rodney Webb knows how to do some football, and everywhere he goes, he seems like he wins. And he might be putting a special team together this year for sure. All right. We got another one, battle of undefeateds in district play anyway. West Mesquite, the Wranglers, taking on Carrollton Creekview, 5-0 against 6-0. In fact, only one loss between them overall.
Yeah, West Mesquite losing to Princeton earlier in the year, first game of the season, but they've been perfect since then. Creekview is going into this game very much like they've gone the last couple of years. They're undefeated. They're 8-0. They're looking at, okay, we're 8-0, but we got to win this game. This is the defining win, because last year they started out 8-0 and they lost their last 3 games by a cumulative point margin of 90 points. And when you lose your last 3 games, including the playoff games, by 90, it kind of makes that undefeated start not go as well. And I think that's what we're going to see this year as well. West Mesquite, Jalen Dotson, Demarion Robinson, Kamari Carter, they just have too much talent. Creekview does have Kason Garcia. He is an amazing quarterback, but I don't think defensively they're going to be able to slow down West Mesquite. Creekview's got to play a perfect game, but I think West Mesquite's going to take care of business. All
right, when you look at the Halton Buffaloes, just 3-4 on the year, but they're 3-1 in district play, and they're taking on Bowie, who's 4-0.
Yeah, Bowie has just been incredible this year, and they had a hard-fought game against Arlington. It took a big play for them to win that game, but Haltom, all you got to know is the name, as we say on the podcast, Vuderico. He is everything for Haltom. He is their leading running back. He is their leading receiver. They love getting it out to him in the flat. Dominique Monavong, if he's throwing the ball for 10 or 15 times, you know Haltom is not doing it right. But can they do that against an Arlington Bowie squad? Can they keep it on the ground? Can they, shorten the game with that running game? I don't know. I think Arlington Bowie's got too much talent. I don't think Haltom's going to be able to slow him. Look for Jaden Bibbs to have a big game. Denzel Ponder at running back. He needs to step up for Arlington Bowie to kind of take the wind out of the sails, but I think Bowie will win this game by a couple of scores.
All right, Matt Diggs, appreciate the knowledge. And Professor, enjoy your games wherever you go this week. Folks out there, enjoy your games wherever you go this week. And please make sure to join us right back here next week as Cricket presents the warm-up. We leave you tonight with Professor Diggs' DFW area rankings. We'll see you next time.